Jeff Marion here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're injured in a crash or in a fall, you're likely going to be dealing with an adjuster, a representative from the insurance company that represents the party that caused your injury in the first place. And I'm going to tell you how to interact with that particular adjuster in a way that'll help your case. This channel is dedicated to helping you navigate the complex area of personal injury law. We have new videos every Sunday, so click on the logo in the corner to subscribe. I've been fighting for people who've been injured in crashes, in falls, and by unsafe products for over 25 years. I'll help keep you safe, healthy, and informed. We're going to look at how you should talk to the adjuster and how you should deal with the adjuster from the insurance company who represents the party that hurt you. A lot of these are just going to be very simple, and they're just going to be what to be. And the first one is to be nice, but be firm. Don't be afraid to advocate for yourself, but always make sure that you're polite. Don't get into shouting matches. Don't get upset if the adjuster says that you don't have a claim, that their party didn't do anything wrong, or offers you a small amount of money. It doesn't mean that to not be firm with them and say that you believe that they caused the that their insured caused the problem and that you're entitled to recovery. But again, the old saying that you can catch more flies with honey than vinegar applies very much here. Second, be open-minded. And by that I mean to listen to what the adjuster is telling you. Listen to what facts they give you, what they say to justify why they're unwilling to pay a certain amount, why they're unwilling to admit any liability in the claim, and make sure that you're paying attention. Take notes if you have to, but in this case, be open-minded and be a good listener. The next thing is to be inquisitive. Ask open-ended questions. Always ask a who, a what, or a how. Don't ask for a why. You may get an explanation that you don't want to hear, but ask, if you get a low offer, how does that affect me? How am I supposed to live on that? What am I supposed to do with that offer? How do you value my injury at that number? What is it about this claim that you can't make an offer? And then go back to the previous step and be a good listener and be open-minded and listen to what the adjuster is saying. Try to get them to talk and get them to tell you facts. Make sure you're taking notes about what they say, because you may need them if you do talk to an attorney later on down the line. The next important thing to be is to be prepared. Now, my track coach in high school, Jim Rowland, he had what he used to call the 5 Ps. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. And that applies here. So make sure that you're prepared. Make sure that you've read over the incident report or the police report. Make sure you've got all of your dates of treatment. Make sure that you know what happened when and what tests you've had. Make sure that you know what your condition is. So be ready to talk to the adjuster and to know your end of the case and to know what's going on and to know what was said. So if you don't do those things, you will perform poorly in that conversation. So make sure that you are prepared. The fifth thing is to be skeptical. Is the insurance carrier for the other side going to handle your claim quickly and fairly? Absolutely not. There is no scenario where they're going to do that. They are looking at this as a loss. In fact, there are insurance carriers who view any claim that they pay out, they actually call it a loss. The idea that you're in good hands or that an insurance company is a good neighbor is something you should get out of your head as quickly as possible. They're not going to tell you all of the facts. They're not going to tell you if their insured admitted that they did something wrong. They're not going to tell you how much money they have to pay your claim. They may not tell you how much other insurance is out there. They're really going to try to get you to sign on the dotted line on as small a settlement as humanly possible. So be skeptical of anything that they tell you. If they tell you you don't even have a claim, that they didn't do anything wrong, be skeptical of that. If you've prepared and you know the file and they try to tell you that you're at fault and you're not because you were stopped at a red light or you were parked on the side of this road or whatever it is, be skeptical. Next thing is be prompt. If the adjuster calls you and leaves a message, call the adjuster back right away. If you do agree to a time for a teleconference, make sure that you call and you're on time for the teleconference. That's something that ultimately the adjuster is going to appreciate and is going to help you in resolving the case. Be responsive is the next thing. If the adjuster asks for certain medical records or authorizations to get medical records, make sure, or needs photographs that you've taken or a statement that you've gotten from a police officer or something along those lines, or a copy of the police report. Make sure that you turn those over and give them to the insurance company for their review, because it will ultimately help them get to the end of the case to where they're going to make you an offer. Again, that offer may not be something you're satisfied with, and at that point you should probably discuss your case with an attorney. The next thing is to be ready to talk to that adjuster's supervisor. That's something you may have to do. In dealing with your case initially, the adjuster assigned to your case is probably going to have a pretty high volume of files and probably very limited authority to pay out claims. That means that the adjuster is probably going to only have a few $1,000s to pay out your claim. So you may have to go to a supervisor. Now the adjuster may try to discourage you from that, saying, well, you can talk to my supervisor and that isn't going to get you anywhere. Or you can say, well, you're going to talk to a lawyer. Well, you can talk to a lawyer, but that's not going to change my offer. That goes back to being firm and being nice. And you can say, I'm sorry, your offer is generous, is constructive, is whatever term you want to use, but I just am not in a position to accept that offer. I'd like to talk to somebody and see if maybe we can get a little closer to what I think the value of this is. The next thing is to be alert. Now, there's insurance companies out there that can do some pretty underhanded stuff. And one of those things is they can send you a check out of the blue that you don't know where it's from. Now, you might be getting reimbursed for your out-of-pocket medical expenses. Your no-fault insurer may be paying your wages as part of that, part of the time that you're out of work. And then all of a sudden this check for $500 comes out of the blue with another piece of paper to sign. The problem is that what that check is a settlement offer on a bodily injury case. And if you've been severely hurt, $500 may not cover it. And if you sign that, if you cash that check and you return the paperwork, they're going to turn around and say, well, you released us from any liability in this. You accepted settlement. So make sure that you look very carefully and you read the fine print of what they send you, especially if they send you checks. Make sure that they're for unreimbursed medical expenses or anything along those lines. They don't say bodily injury, and they're not trying to settle with you in a quick and dirty way. Finally, be ready to call a lawyer. I know that part is scary. You feel like you're a bad person, or people are going to look down on you and call you litigious. But if you've been severely hurt because somebody else was careless, you may have no choice but to contact a lawyer. And a lawyer is going to be able to help you not only talk to the adjusters, but is going to help you gather all of the evidence from your doctors, is going to gather statements from witnesses, is going to be able to help you get a handle on the case. And if necessary, sue the case for you, represent you at a potential trial, and possibly help in the negotiations. So there may come a time that you might have to hire a lawyer, and make sure that you choose an experienced personal injury lawyer to assist you with your claim. And if you have been injured in a crash or in a fall or by an unsafe product, please feel free to contact me at the email address below. You can also contact me at my website, www.jeffmarionlaw.com, where I've got plenty of resources about personal injury law. Or you can contact me through a message via Facebook, facebook.com/JeffMarionLaw. And I'll sit down with you for free and go over your case and see what we can do to help you. If you found this video helpful, click on the like button below. Leave me a comment. You can also ask me questions in the comments section. And also share this video in your social media network and subscribe to this channel by clicking on the logo in the corner. And we have new videos every Sunday, so until then, we'll see you next week.